Bro, they tried to say I was schizophrenic, bro. For real. Whenever I was going through my spiritual awakening and just finding God, I was going through the challenges and battles that it takes to get closer and closer to your Father when you've been dwelling in darkness for most of your life. The doctors really tried to say I was schizophrenic, but they didn't understand that I was going through a spiritual battle, that I was getting tormented. Literally, I was getting tormented by demons. And I kind of had an idea of what was going on because I knew, I'm like, nah, this ain't no coincidence. I'm like, why is it whenever I'm finding God, I'm getting closer to God, all these mental problems are starting to happen? They try to diagnose me with depression, anxiety, and the biggest one was schizophrenia. I'm like, bro, I'm not crazy. I'm not schizophrenic. I knew what it was, but I knew how to play the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew it was spiritual, but I knew I was gonna look more crazier to them people, telling them like, hey, I'm not crazy. This is what's going on with me. Then they'd really been looking at me like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, all right, cool. It is what it is. I can show you better than I can tell you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just do me. I already know the Lord got a calling for me. I know that this is the devil at work trying to either get me to die or try to get me locked up. I say, but it's all good though, because God got his hand on me and I'm learning who God is, and I know to walk in righteousness. You get what I'm saying? I know to just be positive and just trust in God. And I just knew God had his hand on me the whole time. You get what I'm saying? But that's when I realized, I understood. I said, man, this is a spiritual battle people are fighting. Depression, anxiety, schizophrenia. And they don't understand that a lot of people that are quote unquote schizophrenic, they can see into the spiritual world. You get what I'm saying? I had to go through all that stuff, bro. Whenever I was going through everything I was going through, bro, I started to see into the spiritual world, bro. I can see it. You know what I'm saying? I just knew to keep myself calm. I just knew to just stay positive. You get what I'm saying? Because God was teaching me an important lesson during the midst of all of that. You get what I'm saying? I was going through a real humbling experience. You get what I'm saying? But a lot of these things can be freed off of us if we understood the spiritual aspect of things. But these hospitals don't know. You know what I'm saying? And some people, they'll know, but they're just not going to tell you that the answer is really Christ, bro. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to tell you that. They're just going to tell you, like, oh, just here's the meds. You know what I'm saying? They gave me the meds. They tried to give me the meds, gave me the meds and all that. I said, I'm like, all right, cool. It is what it is. I'm going to play the game, but I'm like, I know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no coincidence that I was dwelling in darkness for most of my life. And the second I found out who God was, all these spiritual attacks started happening. You're not crazy, bro. And people are going to try to paint you as crazy. You get what I'm saying? When I was going through all that stuff, I had people on the outside world, said, Dion this, Dion that. Something wrong with him, not knowing that was the devil. The devil knew, man, the devil, he don't really know what's in the future, but he be guessing. He knew, like, oh yeah, this one here stubborn. If this man find out who God is, he's not going to shut up. He's not going to shut up about God. He's going to now point people towards the light and get people right. You get what I'm saying? Look at the man that's standing before y'all. Do I look crazy? You get what I'm saying? Do I look schizophrenic, depressed, anxiety? And obviously it ain't a certain look